From video game themed cafes and towns rarely visited by foreigners, to meeting an actual Nintendo employee, to theme parks, this trip kind of had it all. It's one of my favorite trips I've ever been on, so thus, we're making it a vlog. I hope you enjoy this hybrid format of me talking like this and showing footage on top of it like this. Let's go. Yeah, I know my hair looks a bit weird. I literally just got back from the airport and I showered. Anyway, the vlog. First up, I managed to somehow get a booking at the Kirby Cafe, which is infamously really hard to get a booking for. I literally refreshed the page a bunch of times in the lead up to the trip, and someone canceled the day before, so I managed to snatch that reservation. There's one issue though, lovely audience. I managed to get a reservation on the day I land in Japan, so I'm literally gonna have to like get on a plane, land, run to a taxi driver, look insane and say, please take me to Kirby's Cafe, and then off I go. And that's what I did. 7 a.m. I was in Sydney, 8:30 p.m. I have to somehow be in the middle of Japan to go to a Kirby themed cafe. Was it worth doing that? Yeah. Before my flight boarded, I ended up doing some dancing in the airport, just randomly. Turns out people don't care if you do this. You have free will. You can do that as long as you're not getting in the way. It's a surprisingly nice way to spend your pre-flight experience. I somehow made it on time, so I found those storage locker things, put my luggage in it, because I had no time to go to my hotel, and run straight to the Kirby Cafe. The cafe's vibe is incredible, actually. Wispy Woods is right in the middle, and you get to sit around and enjoy Kirby-themed food. Me in particular, I got a Kirby burger, which came with a souvenir plate that I got to keep, and I got the Waddle Dee curry, which was adorable, and the Air Rider themed ice cream French toast thing. All was going well. It was a really delicious time, enjoying the music, vibing. Then I realized something. The building I stored my bags in, I think it just closed. Is my luggage stuck in a random building in the first couple of hours of me being in Japan? Luckily, the answer is no, but I had to get staff to help me go get it. So that was what we would call really awkward. So my phone flat, I managed to get to a taxi and go to my hotel. Having a Japanese language degree does pay off sometimes. All right, day 2. I'm gonna be real with you, lovely audience. I'm really obsessed with the Disney theme parks, so the next 2 days of this trip is fully dedicated to the Disney theme parks. I'm a bit of a theme park otaku, nerd, hyperfixator, whatever you wanna call it. Whatever reason, I seem to really like these theme parks. And I had a great time. There's a surprisingly common trend in Japan where basically you just wear a schoolgirl outfit and you go to Disneyland in it. It's weirdly common, and it's so common in fact that they have stores right next door that let you rent them. I own the uniform that I used, and I've managed to use it in a couple of videos actually, so it was a surprisingly good purchase. I'm looking pretty fresh in this blazer. Hopefully the weather... In that moment, I felt fear. Fear of the heat. Will I be able to wear this cute uniform in the brutal heat of Japan? Then I remembered, I'm Australian. Of course I can. So Disney Sea is one of my favorite theme parks in the entire world. The theming is incredible and it's such a delight to walk around, and the rides are really fun. But one thing I really want to mention is they had a Dance the Globe show, which is themed around dances from all over the world, right? Dance the Globe makes sense, right? So in this show, due to the weather and it being suddenly stormy and rainy, they had to temporarily pause the show and nearly cancel it. But they were able to keep it going, but slightly altered. Each section of this dance show would have a type of dance, the culture associated with it, and a Disney character that happens to be part of that culture, right? So presumably one of them was meant to be Hero from Big Hero 6, because in the final dance finale, all the dancers throughout the show, just for one last hurrah, come on out, do a really fun dance, and to us, just randomly, Hero from Big Hero 6 just runs on the stage and waves. You're just chilling 1 second and then suddenly Hero from Big Hero 6 runs on stage and then Immortal starts playing. Sure, why not? I felt like the variety of cultures presented through dance, I think, led to a really interesting show. And it gave me a lot of ideas of things I want to incorporate into my own dance.
Well, I didn't burn, so that's good.
Day 3 was Disneyland. It's like Disney Sea, but it's dry. The main ride I want to highlight is Winnie the Pooh's Honey Hunt. I really like Winnie the Pooh, a very big nostalgic thing for me. And I think this is one of the first trackless dark rides in the world, I think, or at least the ride system it used. So it's really cool getting to experience that and seeing the really cool practical effects you see as your little cart is like spinning around and going all over the place. It's a really fun ride. After my Disney escapades, it was time for Enoshima, which has a bunch of pretty flowers, a beautiful island, amazing shrines, and some really fun street food. You might know this place from that one episode in Bocchi the Rock where they go on a little vacation. If not, that's chill. You get to discover it now. I went on this particular part of the adventure with my host family. So like when I first went to Japan in 2014, I had a host family that looked after me and helped me out and that kind of thing, back when I couldn't really speak Japanese. Over the years, said host family has consistently really helped me out with my Japanese studies over the years, and it's kind of become a second family in a sense. Anytime I go to Japan, I always meet up with them and do stuff, that kind of thing. Whenever I reach milestones in life or that kind of thing, I make sure I message them. It's rather wholesome. It's really cool to have like a second family in another part of the world, right? So I won't have too much footage of them because, like, you know, I want to keep their identity safe too, similar to how I don't film my family in Australia, you know what I mean? But said host family brought their dogs, and these dogs are adorable. So much so that people would run up and come and pat the dog every couple of minutes when we'll walk around Enoshima. It was really wholesome. Funny enough, the dogs really wanted to like sprint a little, then stop, sprint a little, then stop, sprint a little, then stop. As a result of that, I had to witness my host family being kind of dragged along with the dogs as they perilously went down the stairs. Luckily they were okay, but I had some moments where I was a little scared. We also got to go through this cool cave, and like they literally give you a candle that they light, and then you get to walk through that cave and see like cool shrines deep below. Apparently this cave used to be connected to Mount Fuji, or at least that's what the legends say. I really love the tunnel, and then when you get to the other side and then you see like the beach and like the rocks and stone and the waves crashing and a rock that looks like a turtle, it's so cool. 11 out of 10. A little bit outside of Enoshima is this one crossing that's really popular as like a touristy spot because it's featured in Slam Dunk. This spot's pretty infamous from tourists basically congesting traffic because they want a really cute photo. Oopsie whoopsie, as I say. So basically, kind of family vacation style with my host family. We stayed in this one like dog-friendly hotel so the dogs could run around the hotel rooms and that kind of thing. And we would like have dinner together, we had breakfast together, and we had a look around Jogoshima, which is like an island that's near Misaki Port Town. Now, why are we here now instead of back at Enoshima? Well, the reason is the following day I want to explore Misaki Port Town because I am obsessed with this one game called Toro to Kyujutsu, or Tara's holiday or day off, I guess. So basically this game literally had photographs, and then like the 3D model was put on top of the photographs, and you could explore this town virtually on this PS2 game that was only released in Japan. I practiced Japanese with this game, so I'm a little attached to it. I even played it on stream once, but I wanted to go there for real. I thought that would be a really cool experience. So I asked my host family, hey, can you help me get there? It's actually kind of hard to get there by bus and train, hence why foreigners don't really go there. It's not exactly a touristy hotspot. Heck, when I was looking up stuff about this town, I couldn't find much information in English. I had to really search up in Japanese the whole time. Misaki Port Town in general was beautiful. Seeing the shrines, the trees, and all these locations from a game that I know. But obviously these are photos taken from 20 years ago because the game was made around then. So it's interesting seeing how this one little quaint town has changed, but also hasn't changed. The playground, for example, still had the slide, but the swings were taken out, and a lot of the trees were a bit more like grayed out, I guess. Interestingly, one of the shrines actually had an electronic display that shows you how to properly like pray and that kind of thing at a Shinto shrine or a Buddhist temple, right? Now, the most common thing tourists do, and please never do this, is you'll see this like thing right here. I always forget what it's called, where you have to wash your hands before you pray, right? Please, and I repeat, do not drink this water. If I catch you drinking this water at a Shinto shrine, I will personally grab your phone number and put it on a spam callers list, and you will be endlessly barraged with spam messages. And I'll put Legos in your house. Just make sure the water falls out of the basin. You don't want it to go back in, right? The point is to spray it off it, right? Just keep that in mind. That was a part that I didn't know until then. Thank you, Hearst family, for explaining yet again. But the coolest part was next. I wouldn't have been able to do this without my Hearst family, so I can't exaggerate enough how much this really helped. So, in Toro Tokujutsu, there is a hotel that Toro stays at, right? I couldn't get a reservation there. But my Hearst family came in with me and asked if I could have lunch there because I also do lunch menu stuff, which meant I could go into the building and have lunch inside the same hotel from a game that I love a lot. And it was such a cool experience. They even had a little like shrine for Toro, because I'm going to assume a lot of domestic tourists come to Misaki Port Town because of Toro Tokujutsu. So, by the sounds of it, I might have been one of the first foreigners to come there for that reason. I don't know. But just based on how the staff were talking to me, they're like, how'd you hear about this? How do you know what a Toro is? Now, the food itself. Lovely audience. It was the best thing I've eaten in my entire life. The fish was so fresh that when I looked out the window, I could see fishermen coming back with their catch that would presumably then become the lunch, right? Just bear in mind, this is a fishing town. The fish is so incredibly fresh that I don't think it could be any fresher. This was by far the best tuna I may ever eat in my entire life. This changed my life. Toro has good taste, 11 out of 10, but it doesn't stop there. It gets even cooler, lovely audience. Soon after I finished the greatest meal of my entire life, no biggie, whatever, as I walk out, they asked, "Sir, are you a fan of Toro?" And I say, "Oh, I love Toro." And then he says, "Would you like to see Toro's room and take a photo there?" And I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh, it's happening. It's happening. I get to go. I get to see his room. Let's go. So I very cool and nonchalant went, "Yeah, that'd be really fun." So I was guided up the stairs in slippers that admittingly didn't fit me, but whatever. That's just how it goes when I'm in Japan. They took me to the room. I went in. There it was. Toro's room. Oh my God. It's like the video game. Let's go. Like the TV's a little different, but of course the TV's different. It's been 20 years. So I got to sit there, take a photo. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. That made me so happy, lovely audience. Like I was like, I had the biggest grin as I was walking out of this place. Like, oh my God. I didn't expect to get to do that. 11 out of 10. Next time I go to Japan, I'm going to try to get a reservation there and actually stay there, because the staff were incredible, the food was incredible, hospitality was incredible, the vibes are immaculate. It's right near Jokashima, which is like an absolutely beautiful island. An island so beautiful that people take wedding photos there, and I don't know how they walked through these massive pathways in wedding dresses, but I respect the commitment. It's time for me and my host family to part ways, at least for this trip. I know there'll be more in the future. It was really cool getting to see them again, as always. It's always really heartwarming. Japan kind of feels like a second home for me now, just because of connection with host family and overall, I guess, attachment I start to feel with Japan the more I learn the language, culture, that kind of thing. Right, up next is Akihabara, which is where I'm going to be staying for the remainder of the trip because I love arcades. I played a bunch of Dance Rush, a bunch of Taiko no Tatsujin, and I also played some pool. A little known fact about me, lovely audiences, I actually play a pool like nearly every week. I'm kind of addicted to pool. Akihabara is also home to a bunch of cool retro gaming stores. As long as you know where to look, Generally, the pricing is fine, but you'll notice that the pricing is really inflated if it's a franchise popular with foreigners, such as, Pokemon, that kind of thing, right? So just keep in mind that prices will probably be super inflated for games you might be the most interested in. But if you want to get Japanese only games or games that could only be bought in Japan, the pricing's really reasonable actually in most places. The good rule of thumb is avoid the ones that say retro game in big English text, and avoid any store that says Pokemon card inside in English. Those are usually kind of tourist traps, not gonna lie. Up next, the Toy Museum. That's right, there's a toy museum. I was really excited to find this out. But you don't just get to look at the toys, lovely audience. No, that'd be too simple. No, you get to play with all the toys. Makes sense, right? All the staff actually actively encourage you to give every toy a try, and they'll even play with you if you're on your own like I was, because I love solo travel. It's a fun thing for me. Every single toy or thing I got to play with, they helped me out. It was a really cool experience. They even explained how some of the stuff worked. The spinning tops, still have no idea how to use those. That is really hard. Turns out there's a store based on Hamtaro, which is an anime I watched when I was super, super little. One of the first anime I ever watched other than Pokemon. It was actually a big part of me feeling more comfortable with liking more girly stuff, and I guess was a big part of my egg cracking. But that aside, I used to rent the same DVD over and over and over, to such an extent I actually bought it once the rental store went out of business. So I do have it. The same DVD I rented over and over, which is one of the coolest things I own actually. I'm really happy about owning this. But that aside, there was a Hamtaro store in Shibuya, Shinjuku kind of area. It was pretty small. It's just built into a residential district. But seeing this little museum section at the end with all these old toys from Hamtaro's past, really cool. It was cool to see them all. I wish you could buy them, but honestly, getting to see them was really incredible. They had stuff you could buy in the first floor, but I think all the products sold out because almost every shelf was empty. I think I got unlucky. But either way, I got to see cool stuff on the shelf and take photos and hear nostalgic music in the background. So that meant a lot to me. I love Hamtaro. Up next was the famous street in Harajuku, known as the beacon of alternate fashion. Or at least it was. So I didn't really go there. I went to Cat Street instead, which is a bit further out, which is allegedly a little more close to Harajuku's roots. But the reality is Harajuku is very touristy now. And I even found Cat Street a bit overpriced, and the alternate fashion wasn't really there. I was hoping to see some cooler stuff, I admit. Maybe I didn't know where to look. I don't know. I didn't stay there very long. I felt a bit disheartened. I won't lie, lovely audience. I'll give it a better go next time. But Harajuku's that thing where I think I'm gonna like it, and then every time I go, I seem to be disappointed. I don't know why. Something about how Harajuku's been super touristified seemingly bothers me for no discernible reason. It's not like Harajuku was particularly in its prime when I was a teenager anyway. It was kind of, already a tourism thing, so whatever. Since that wasn't too interesting to me, I decided to go back to Akihabara and do a bunch of karaoke. I love karaoke. Oh my god, it's so fun. I sang to all the usual Mikuru songs and that kind of thing, right? I had a really fun time. You could even order food on the phone when you're in the karaoke booth. Here's what that looks like. Hawaiian plate を一つお願いします。はい、そうなんです。ありがとうございます。Another cool thing I managed to do was the Monster Hunter bar. I love this place. Okay, so I know I said the Kirby Cafe was really cool and well themed, but the Monster Hunter Cafe is kind of next level. I've been playing the Monster Hunter franchise since Tri on the Wii. So seeing the Monster Hunter world come to life in this cool immersive bar, and then you can get food that looks exactly like the ones you get in the games. Really cool, absolute cinema. I adore it. And what's really cute is all the tables, it's referred to as base camps like in the game. So when you get your table number, it's your base camp number. They say please head to your base camp, Hunter. Good luck. and a special Okami spaghetti that they had because it's Okami's 20th anniversary, and it's one of my favorite games ever made. So I kind of had to in my heart, so I ate a lot that day. Worth it. Also, I got some strawberry milk that was themed after, you know, the one that farts. You wouldn't think that's very appetizing. I don't think I was farted on. I think they applied a deodorant to it before they handed it to me. So I think it's safe to eat for all hunters. If you followed the channel for a while now, you might know that last year I got to interview Ononoko no Club, or Girls Club. I got to go there again, but as a regular customer this time. Chinami, who was in the video, was also there on shift. And another one that I hadn't met before. So it was actually like really cool getting to like jump on in as a regular customer, because last time a lot of my time there was spent, you know, interviewing them. It's a cross-dressing bar where cross-dressers gather, chat, and chill. Majority of the clientele, like a solid 80%, is cross-dressing men. But anyone's welcome to go there. So if it interests you in any way, feel free. The staff don't know too much English, so they might use translator apps. But if you happen to speak a bit of Japanese, it'll go a long way for sure. I had a really fun time chatting with the staff for like hours and sipping on a lot of orange juice. Later on, a customer arrived that happened to be a viewer of the Fairy Princess Lucy YouTube channel. So if you, person I spoke to on that wonderful night, happens to be watching this video, I hope your studies are going well, and I hope that you're enjoying your time in Japan. That wasn't the only bar though, lovely audience. I went to a bar called Hashi the following day. This bar is owned by an ex-Nintendo employee, and he has all sorts of cool memorabilia and stuff on the walls signed by various industry veterans in the Nintendo and just overall gaming sphere, right? Getting to just talk to a real Nintendo employee, at least an ex one, so cool. I admittingly froze in the moment and I couldn't come up with a question, and I'm still kicking myself about it a little bit. I asked like really basic ones because I just couldn't come up with anything. But it was really cool getting to chat with him. And the cool part about the bar is its location is actually a secret. I can't tell you where it is. If you sign up to go, basically you get given a photo of a meeting place. You go to that meeting place, and then a staff will guide you to the Hashi bar. Also, if you want to go to this Nintendo bar, don't worry, they have an amazing translator. Like, she was really good. You'll have no language barriers at all with like their translators on deck. Most of the people that go to this bar seem to be from overseas, so you might even make some friends too. So that'd be kind of cool. Random aside, the literal day after I went, YouTuber Alpharad happened to go straight after me. So there could have been a timeline where I could have met Alpharad from YouTube, my favorite YouTuber. Oh well. To kind of finish up my trip before I had to head home, I went to the Monster Hunter bar again. This time I ordered this monstrosity. I adore it. It's so good. It's like exactly like the platters you'd see in Monster Hunter World. So cool. So delicious. I ate all of it. 11 out of 10. That's my favorite item on the menu. It was so fun to eat and like grab this like skewer and just kind of as if you're in the game. I don't know. That was really fun. But yeah, that is my Japan trip pretty much. Did you enjoy hearing about it? Do you want more vlogs in this format, or do you prefer the more like holding the camera and talking while walking around? I hope you found it interesting either way. The following last day of my trip, I kind of just went to Disney Sea again, then went to the airport. It was a good trip. I liked it a lot. I feel a really strong connection with Japan, but it's a complicated relationship, as I explained in some other videos. Being a trans girl that is attached to Japan, which is normally not a country the best at trans rights, you know, that kind of thing. So it can be a tricky relationship, but it still feels like a second home, and I think this trip helped me untangle some internalized stuff, I guess. It made me figure out my thoughts and made me feel confident that yeah, Japan is something I want to engage with more actively. It feels like a second home, and it's cool making connections there. And as I get better at speaking Japanese, I feel more of Japan opening up to me, in a sense. I'll always be a visitor, but if I'm a happy visitor, then no need to complain, I guess. I'm just kind of happy to be part of the ride. And I think accepting that made the trip all the more better for me. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the funny like button, subscribe button, etc. And as always, stay hydrated and know that you are valid. I'll see you next week. I'm so tired after that flight.